Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia, and doing a little bit of a different project today. I won a bid on eBay a short time ago, and my engine arrived, a little 262 Pennsylvania, runs really nice. But what I noticed on my HO scale track, which is code 70, is that the trucks on the tender tend to bounce. It's the classic pizza cutter wheels. Their profile is just a little bit too much. So they hit on the tie plates that are molded in on the track in places. So what I've been doing is I have taken a little motorized Dremel tool with a diamond impregnated cutting surface, and I've been coming in and I have been grinding off some of the pizza cutter. So even though it's kind of hard to see as this is moving around, the wheel in center left, I have already removed some of the that ridge. One on the right I haven't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in and get them all done, including the plastic side, very carefully, very slow speed. Takes a while. And then I'll come back in with a different bit, which I'm thinking it's going to be this one, just to polish the edge. I've not changed the profile of the wheel at all. All I'm doing is removing the outer, not fraction of a millimeter of the pizza cutter, the ridge piece. So I'm going to do that and then just see how this runs. I was getting issues with this train running over some of the switches, and all I had to do is touch the tender so that I got better contact and it would take right off. So I'm thinking removing this, I should have better operation. So let's see what happens. So you can see what I'm doing is a Dremel tool. I've got it on slow speed because it's variable speed drill. And then got my finger over the plastic wheel, and I just lightly bring it to the metal wheel. And it's kind of hard to see, but by putting light pressure on, I do get the wheel to spin, so I'm just very gradually removing material to get that profile down where I want it. So it becomes more of a semi-scale profile. This should get me over the track. So you can see this has been ground down. The plastic side, you can still see the pizza cutter profile of the wheels. That was the exact same size as this, but now that profile has been reduced. Not a lot, but enough. All right, that really did not take too long. I have got them ground down to a kind of a quasi semi-scale. You can see this close-up that the rims look rough, but the surface area that contacts the track has not been touched. It's clean. There's no gouges. The rotary tool did not contact any of that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to polish it up a little bit. It's not going to be perfect, but it's not going to affect the trains on the rail. It's not like the contact surface is going to be rough or anything. So I'm getting close. This is actually going pretty quick. I'll be able to test it out here in just a little bit and see how it works. All right, one more project before I put it back together again, and that's going to be to change out the old horn hook coupler with a KD knuckle coupler. I do have the wheels buffed out. Again, kind of hard to see. It's not 100% perfect, but the rims are definitely smaller than they were. Same on the plastic side. I will kind of clean them off, wipe them down just a little bit before I give them a test, and I'm going to go over and put them on the layout and run them through a couple of switches by hand just to make sure that I'm not making contact, and then see how we're going to do. All right, to give my little 262 a little bit of a workout, let's make up a train for it here. So let's switch off on the team track. We'll take that Pennsylvania box car and bring it up over to the other Pennsylvania boxcar and caboose and move it on down main 1 for that 262 to pick up. All right. And now let's take her over to the other section here. Kind of make sure I got the switches thrown in the right direction. Pull off my throttle and walk it down there. I just want to clear the switch a little bit so that I can uncouple and then pull the switcher back up to the team track, and then I can move the 262 over. One thing that I found that really works well for KD couplers is just a large toothpick, basically a miniature skewer. You can get them in packs of a couple of hundred, and you just kind of put them in, and it still takes a little finesse, but there we go. It is broke, and now I can pull the switcher ahead. I'll bring the switch engine back to the team track, and then I can isolate the power there. You know, the HO scale layout is DC. A lot of my equipment is old. And you know what? I enjoy DC. You know, I think both have its advantages. As everybody knows, my N scale is DCC, and I love it. You know, if I ever do a larger HO scale in the future, I will probably try to go to DCC. But you know, right now, this is fine. So let me get my switch engine. Let's see here. There we go. Handheld throttle and holding the phone in the hand at the same time makes it a little bit difficult to flip the right switch. All right, so now I'm just going to come over to the master panel and kill the power on the team track. Essentially how I've got it laid out: main 1, main 2. I've got this is the track that goes behind the roundhouse off to the staging yard, turntable, tracks around the turntable, heavy maintenance shop, leads into the turntable 1 and 2. These are just a variety for the freight yard area over here. This one's just a dead switch. As extra in case I needed it at some point. These up here are for the tracks leading off on the back of the maintenance shop, and then these two are for the lighting effects for the welding in the heavy maintenance shop. The one on the left, one on the right. But now we'll come over to the other panel, and first things first. Let's throw some switches, make sure we've got good contact. That one's all thrown. Come up, and similar to the other side, this one is the track that goes to the coal yard. And when I flip the layout, when I take you know, this piece, move it to the other end, then it becomes one very long team track and go into the coal yard. And then main 1 and now main 2, where the 262 is sitting. And that area is already electrically isolated, so my my 280, it does not go anywhere. I can grab my panel there, and let's move that engine. Let's see if I've got it set up right here. There we go. So the modification to those wheels on the tender sounds so much better going through here. Yeah, not 100% better, but much better. Again, I would not have to put the throttle down if I'm not holding a cell phone and recording at the same time. That gives you a sense of what I'm doing. So we'll go back up. We'll see how I did on the KD coupler install a little while ago. And pretty good. The little engine works really nice. It's a Bachmann. And let's see here. Gets through the switches really well. Goes across the transition point pretty well. And I need to kind of get out in front of it here because I don't have the switch thrown right. There we go. The joys of a one-man layout. But yeah, that works really well. I'm happy with it. Nice little engine, nice little modification project, runs really well on the layout. Hey, I am a happy camper. Now a little bit later today, I'm going to go over and have some fun on the N scale layout. Take care all, and it's getting close to Christmas, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'll probably have some other videos coming here in the near future, but that's going to be it for this week.